Okay, we're on physical and chemical properties and changes. Let's first talk about physical and chemical properties of matter. Physical properties of matter are characteristics that are sort of like unique to that substance, okay? So its density, its color, how it smells, what is its melting point, what is its boiling point, is it malleable, can I pound it into thin sheets, is it ductile, can I draw it into thin wires, is it viscous? Viscosity has to do with the resistance of a liquid to flow, like molasses, honey. Those are really viscous substances. Is it hard? Does it have a really pretty metallic luster? Things like that you're going to want to know. Okay, and I've outlined all of those in the chapter handout for you. Now, in terms of chemical properties of matter, that has to do with how it reacts with something else. Like, will it react? Will it explode? Will it rust? Will it burn when I expose it to air? Okay, so student exercise number 10 says, classify the following properties as physical or chemical. A, water is colorless and odorless at 20 degrees. That's physical. B, water dissolves sugar crystals. This is often a place that people mess up. You're going to want to star this example because anytime you're dissolving sugar into water or a salt into water, that's going to be considered a physical property. Okay, so this is a physical property for B. C, water produces a gas with calcium metal. You're producing something new, water's reacting, so it's going to be a chemical property. D, water exists as ice at negative 10 degrees Celsius. That is also a physical property. Okay. Now, if we go on to the next page and we start talking about physical and chemical changes, you have got to write down that physical changes are reversible. Okay. If I change a solid to a liquid and then I convert it back to a solid by freezing it, see, that's reversible. Like ice, I can melt ice, I can freeze water. Those are reversible changes. Those are physical changes. So that means the substance didn't change, but the state did. Okay, so any solid to liquid to gas conversion and vice versa. Chemical changes are when I make something completely different. Okay, so if I make something new, then that's considered a chemical change. So if something is combusting or something is corroding or I produce some sort of gas, bubbles are produced. If it says effervescence, which is another term that we use in chemistry for gas was produced or gas evolves, or if I produce a product that isn't soluble, which is called a precipitate, or if there's an unexpected color change, these are all examples of chemical changes. So in student exercise 11, it says, classify the following as a physical or chemical change. A, alcohol burns, chemical change. B, alcohol is volatile. That means it evaporates really, really easily. It doesn't mean the same thing that it may mean like an English class, okay? So you need to make a note that volatile means that the substance is going to evaporate. It vaporizes right away. It goes into the gas phase, okay? That is a change of state. Therefore, this is a physical change because I still have alcohol. It's just a gas. C, table salt dissolves in a glass of water, another physical change. D, a flashlight battery loses its charge, chemical change. E, acetone evaporates, physical change. It's still acetone, it's just in the gas phase. F, carpet fades from sunlight exposure. I want you to star this one because the sunlight is decomposing the color, decomposing the carpet. That is not reversible. This is a chemical change. Student exercise 12. Classify the following as a physical or chemical property. A, charcoal is a black solid, physical property. B, charcoal will burn, chemical property because it has to do with how it will react with something. C, the tendency of copper to turn green when it's exposed to air. That is an unexpected color change. That is a chemical property. D, the tendency of automobile paint to dull over time. That one is the sun decomposing the paint. That is not reversible. That is a chemical property. E, the tendency of gasoline to evaporate quickly when it's spilled. That is a physical property. F, the low mass per volume of aluminum, bless you, in comparison to other metals. You need to underline low mass per volume. That is referring to density. That is a physical property. Okay, now that we've done that, you are ready to do this worksheet on classification of matter. This is a review of what is matter and what isn't. The first 8 go through what is matter, what is energy, what is neither. You may want to wait and do the energy portion until you watch the video on potential and kinetic energy, but that is already in the chapter handout. You could just turn to the next page and I list it for you. Numbers 9 through 19 are asking you to identify whether it's a pure substance or a mixture, and then you have to identify if it's an element, a compound, or the type of mixture it is, being homogeneous or heterogeneous. Then you're classifying physical and chemical properties of matter. You're classifying physical and chemical changes. And then down here, on 39 through 44, I talk about identifying intensive versus extensive properties, which are not in the chapter handout. But I give you the definitions. This is an application of you reading something that I give you and then being able to think it through without some formal guidance. So make sure you read the definition for intensive and extensive properties. It's really clear. And then I want you to identify, based upon those definitions, what is intensive and what is extensive. Okay?